Throughout this course, we have been directed to understand who we are and where our leadership style stemmed from. Two people continue to pop into my mind during the semester: my mom and dad. Growing up as an only child, they were my main influence and foundation for who I am today. This was the first step I wanted to take on my journey to developing my leadership philosophy.
My leadership style came from a combination of my mother and father. Primarily from my father, who led by example, and from my mother, who said, "Wait until your father gets home."
I think as a woman growing up in the 60s, we looked to our mothers and we looked to television for leadership, to find women who were leaders. In our households, especially in Jewish households, women were very, very strong. Particularly in mine, they were very strong. They weren't necessarily leaders, but they always made sure that they were heard. Being into the 60s and 70s, I really looked at television shows for leadership and to see women in the workplace, in the world. One of my favorite shows was the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Mary Tyler Moore stemmed from the typical female role of being subservient to men. In the show, she acted not as a housewife, which led to the acknowledgement that women can have other roles in life too. In class, we learned about the cycle of socialization. I believe my parents played an important role in this beginning process because I was born into a family with tradition. As previously mentioned, this is a tradition of strong women whose voices are heard. My parents are people I love and trust in life. They were the first ones who taught me my core values. They taught me what my role in life should look like, what the quote norm is or isn't for a girl. They are both entrepreneurs and modeled the way to teach me how to be independent, and will always be a source of inspiration for me to dream what I can and hope to be. For 11 summers, I attended Camp Wayne for Girls, an 8-week overnight camp. I started attending camp when I was 8 years old. I lived in a bunk with 12 other girls and 3 counselors. This was the first time I was away from home and had to become independent from my parents. Our counselors weren't there to baby us, and this daily checklist was just one of the many ways they made us independent individuals. This forced my friends and I to learn to take care of ourselves, our stuff, and each other. I deem independence as a necessary and important quality of developing my individual leadership style. Another important aspect of camp comes from one very special activity that fosters a sense of community. It's the Friday night creative service. This is a time of sharing, reflecting, and growing. The whole camp comes together to see and hear a different age group present poems, skits, stories, and songs. Groups select their own theme, such as dealing with peer pressure, positive thinking, making good choices, or acceptance of others. And campers always leave creative service with a warm feeling. This activity teaches the campers how to deal with these issues in a healthy manner, necessary skills not only used at camp. I believe camp held the perfect approach to teaching the 5 practices of exemplary leadership. Model the way, by counselors and staff establishing a principle for the ways peers should be treated. Challenge the process, by challenging the status quo of typical girl drama. Camp teaches innovative ways to improve and sustain friendships. And encourage the heart. While counselors are teaching independence, they too recognize their campers' contributions, strides, and victories, constantly making campers feel celebrated. In the beginning of the semester, we wrote letters to ourselves about why we chose the leadership minor and what we hoped to gain from this minor. My letter read, "I started taking leadership classes because they were easy." Little did I know the benefit they would have on my college experience. They taught me how to be confident in front of a classroom, how to speak to teachers, and how to work well in groups. During the semester, I hope this class will continue to enhance these skills. At the heart of leadership for me is confidence. Confident in myself amongst peers and adults. I believe this is important for success. Little did I know that when I wrote this letter, exactly this happened. I'm currently a Hebrew school teacher for 18 fourth graders. This experience has enhanced my leadership abilities to the fullest. I've become a more confident leader through my weekly teachings. I have the opportunity to be a role model and inspire my students through transformational leadership in every aspect of their lives. This experience is the last piece for me to understand how my leadership philosophy was formed. From then until now, I have learned my definition of leadership encompasses three main components. First, perseverance, the importance to step outside your comfort zone. Second, independence, the importance of taking control of your individual actions. Lastly, confidence, the importance of being confident in yourself in order to interact and inspire those around you.